Well, now we're going to look at the coordinates and graphing tool within the mathematical toolkit. So we just click the button up here to access it, and here we have a number of things that we're going to look at here. We've got obviously the graph area here, something here where we've got the coordinates that we can put in. We'll look at how these work in a moment. This is quite exciting, the importing of media, graphing equations, and here your setup for the grid. So perhaps just starting with this one here is the easiest. We can have things in degrees or radians if we were perhaps using these with more senior students. Here are the x and y maximum and minimum values in here, so we just change those to whatever we want them to be. I think we'll leave them as they are, and what steps we would like to use. And we just click this button here to update the graph if we make any changes. Here we can display or not display the axes, or display or not display the grid. So I'm just going to leave it set up as it is here. This one here, what the tool will allow us to do is just simply to place some points on the graph. So if I put on the point 3,8 right there, it labels it as P1 and says, okay, the x value is 3 and the y value is 8. Now I can put points wherever I like, just randomly in here, and it will record all of those. Notice though that they are all whole numbers. So P6, for example, clearly isn't lined up, and yet if I click on it, it'll go yellow. Here it says it's -6, -5, where we can see plainly it isn't really -6. So if I click update point, watch what happens to P6. So it will automatically align it with exactly x is -6 and y is -5. So we have to work with whole numbers. That's the limitation of the tool. We'll get rid of all of those points with the clear points button. Let's look at the next part here of graphing, and here we can put in equations, and this is quite useful when we do the exercise on investigating families of curves. So when I click in here, a little calculator comes up. So this shows the things that we're able to do. So we can do sine, cos, tan, and exponentials, pi is mentioned there. So it's a basic calculator, but it's sufficient. So let's say we can put in, we want to plot 2x plus 2. So put in the equation, click OK, and it will appear over here. So there it is, 2x plus 2, and it automatically draws that in for us, coloured blue, according to this. Now I can put in another one, 2x, let's say -4, okay, and one more, let's say 2x minus, I don't know, what'll I go, 1, okay. And so we can use this to investigate families of curves. Now along here we have got, at the moment there's a cross here, so if we put that, change that to a tick, we have got all of the values of in this case the blue. There's the blue line here, so we know that we're dealing with this blue coded graph here, which is x plus 2, and all of these are the x and the y values for that graph. I can scroll through them up and down through the range that I've got here, and so on. If I want to change it to the other graphs, then I can do that. Now it's coloured red, so I know which graph that I'm looking at, and so on. So that's pretty useful for investigating families of curves, and I can change these to whatever graphs that I want them to be, x squared graphs or whatever it is that we're investigating. So we'll be using this when we're looking at families of curves. I'm going to clear all those because I'd like you to go now to this feature here. We can load images or videos. I'm just going to do one here and show you what can be done. So here's a little video here, and I'm going to click the move button, which will just align it a little bit for me. And so it's a little bit hard to see, but there's a little man here and he's about to kick a ball to someone else over here. So if I click the video controls and play it, you notice he kicks the ball and it goes through a parabola motion. So we could ask the kids, well, what's the formula of that parabola? Now I'm going to go back here to graphing, and in here I'm going to say, well, I know the fact that it is an upside down parabola, isn't it? So it's minus x squared, and he kicked it high, so let's say plus 5. Okay, now it's drawn it on there. Now let's see when he kicks the ball just how close my guess was as to whether that's the path of the ball. So kick it, and not too bad with the height, but clearly it needs to be dilated. So if I go back again and click on this, now this is the only annoying thing here, I can't simply easily edit this. Yes, I can. Look, I just learned something. There you go. So I can edit it. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Okay, and now I've dilated the graph. Let's say check it out now. If we go to here, the video controls, click kick it, and kicks the ball, and I've probably got a bit over enthusiastic with my dilation. Anyway, I could keep going backwards and forwards until I get it pretty well to follow the path of that ball. Now I'm just going to unload that image and just show that I can, if I want to, I can choose other shapes. Maybe I'll do this one, do a wheel. Click that on there, so this is just something there, and I can click on this. Oops, I can click on it and move it around if I want to, take it and shift it to some whatever place that I want to. So I could pretty well put it right on there, but of course that's the London Eye, and the shape that we've got, well, it's really more an ellipse than a circle, isn't it, in that particular shape. There's a whole lot of videos and things that we've got in here anyway that we can use. The roller coaster one here, and whoo, that's pretty exciting. Okay, and we've got the roller coaster going around in it and trying to follow the path, at least a part of that anyway. So some pretty good things in here, and we'll do some investigations with these little images a little bit later. Deleting points, again, it can be saved file, so you can save whatever you've done. It'll save the data for use a little bit later on. So that's the sort of run through of the way this tool works.